From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
Welcome back to Good Morning Colorado. Thanks so much for waking up with us. It's coming up on 8:30 now on this Saturday, January 12th. I'm Patty Moon. A police car crashes into a Colorado Springs business. It's breaking news that we're following this morning. It happened at the Grow store at the corner of Colorado and South 7th Street. A store employee says that he was shocked to see what happened.
I mean, the first thing I saw was the police car, and we just got done building this last night. Like, seriously, we put in the final touches of everything, just got it plastered in. It was all insulated, spent a lot of money on it. I don't know. It was just crazy, honestly.
Oh, looks like quite a bit of damage there. Brown says the wife of the store owner called this morning to tell him that an officer may have fallen asleep behind the wheel and crashed the patrol car into the store. Police have not confirmed that, and officers are not saying much about the crash. They tell us no one was hurt and that this is an ongoing investigation. Let's turn to the weather now with Storm Tracker 13's Anders Nelson. Anders, it is freezing cold. I keep complaining about it. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but we're talking single-degree temperatures this morning. Ouch.
Yeah, Patty, it is a pretty chilly start to the day. We all know that you don't like it when it gets this cold out, but not too many people do. 9 degrees currently in Manitou Springs. The one good news is we have some sunshine and not a lot of wind. I guess that might be two things. But either way, we're taking the positives where we can find them. 10 in Colorado Springs at overhead door camera near Powers and Galleys, so we've hit some double digits for some areas. And we have 14 currently in Colorado City. So temperatures beginning to slowly warm up, but some of us still downright cold. 24 below in Alamosa. Most of us still officially in the single digits, whether that's above or below zero across the I-25 corridor and onto the plains. But wind chill value-wise, it feels much colder than that. 21 below currently in Denver with the wind chill, 2 below in the Springs, and 6 below in Pueblo. So again, not a lot of wind, but just enough to make it feel very cold outside. And today, unfortunately, our high temperatures topping off in the teens and 20s as we go through the afternoon. Not a very big warm-up on the way, and keep that in mind if you're going to the Broncos game. Starts at 2:30. We're looking at temperatures at a range between 12 to 17 degrees during the game. Might be some breezes out there as well. And for the weekend, temperatures don't change a whole lot for tomorrow, but you notice we are talking the potential for some flurries in Colorado Springs and Teller County as we go through tonight and to tomorrow. More details on that coming up in a few minutes. Patty, back to you.
Thank you, Anders. More Fort Carson soldiers will be coming home in the next few days. KRDO News Channel 13's Dana Molina joins us from the Mountain Post with more on those homecomings planned. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning, Patty. Loved ones will welcome their soldiers here at Fort Carson in 3 separate homecomings over the next few days. As you know, these are very emotional moments. This is video from a homecoming earlier this year. Members of the 60th Ordnance Company are getting back Monday. The company has been in Afghanistan since June. And the 1st Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment is also returning Sunday and Monday. Those soldiers coming home are part of a huge troop drawdown in Afghanistan. President Obama says the U.S. role in Afghanistan will shift to a support role later this spring. The president says the path of the U.S. military remains clear and the war is moving toward a responsible end in 2014. Reporting live from the Mountain Post, Dana Molina, KRDO News Channel 13.
Thank you, Dana. President Obama announced the 4th ever living recipient of the Distinguished Medal of Honor.
And as we announced today, the next month, I will present our nation's highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor, to Staff Sergeant Clinton Romesha for his heroic service in Afghanistan.
Staff Sergeant Clinton Romesha is a former Fort Carson soldier. Romesha earned the distinction for his heroism during an insurgent attack in Afghanistan in 2009. He was wounded by shrapnel as he took out an enemy machine gun team. 2 activist groups marked the 11 years since the detention center at Guantanamo Bay opened with a protest. Their message was for President Obama to keep his promise of shutting down the detention center. Just days into his first term, the president signed an executive order to close the facility within a year. It was not closed, according to the White House, because of the difficulty in relocating prisoners. A third grader from Illinois will fly to Georgia next week to meet her pen pal. Her pal is a soldier who was serving in Afghanistan who is now back home in Georgia. Sophie Deck spent the last year writing to her pen pal. When Sophie's parents found out the soldier was back, they called the soldier to plan a meeting with Sophie. Sophie's parents bought a plane ticket and surprised her with it on Christmas. Sophie will fly to Atlanta to meet her hero next week.
Her hair was in a bun, and then she has bangs. She really inspires me a lot.
Why is that?
Because, like, a soldier fights for the country, and I just think that's really nice for the country.
Such a sweet and smart little girl. Now, Sophie says she wants to be a soldier when she grows up. There's agreement over a statement made by the governor on changes that Colorado Springs needs to adopt. The governor says efforts should be made to attract more young professionals to the city. His suggestions include more bike trails and hiking areas. Urban renewal enthusiasts agree. They believe making changes to the downtown area can make Colorado Springs more attractive to young professionals. It's a different approach that's been taken than in the past.
2008 hit, and we had focused on development and sprawl and go, 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 and it collapsed.
The governor says it's troubling that the unemployment rate in Colorado Springs is stuck at 9%, even though the state's jobless rate has gone down. The Manitou Incline now has the president's signature. He signed the bill into law on Friday. Congressman Lamborn brought the issue to Congress to clear up legal problems over it. So now the cities of Colorado Springs and Manitou Springs can work together to maintain and improve the trail. Bottom line, it should be safer soon, and you won't be breaking the law when you hike it. The uphill battle against the flu is getting tougher every day. The CDC says only 3 states are unaffected by the flu virus. Memorial Hospital says so far 35 people have been hospitalized. Penrose St. Francis says about half of their emergency room visits are flu-related. The good news, the CDC says if you got a flu shot, your chances of getting sick is about 40%. But Dr. John Torres warns the virus spreads fast.
So the flu virus itself can survive 8 to 18 hours on surfaces. So if I was to sneeze right now, a sneeze can carry across the room. If I was to sneeze, it'd go on that door handle. 8, 10 hours later, you touch that door handle, virus is there, you touch your nose, you get the flu.
In Pueblo, Parkview Medical Center reports treating 11 people since December with the flu. In comparison to last year, only 7 people were hospitalized all season. You know that coughing coworker you wish would just stay home? Well, it turns out a lot of folks cannot afford to. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, nearly a third of the nation's employees cannot take sick days. While most full-timers get paid sick days, only a fraction of part-time workers get them. And that's raising health risks on everyone as the flu outbreak hits early and hard this year. The New York City Medical Examiner's Office has to review hundreds of rape cases after finding that a technician made mistakes. The New York City's Medical Examiner's Office says it is reviewing 843 cases. The ME's office says so far that review has led them to discover biological evidence in 26 cases that was initially missed. The newly discovered DNA evidence has already led to an indictment 10 years after one crime. Sonia Osorio of the National Organization for Women says it is a crime in which victims end up paying the price.
10 years is a long time to live not getting any justice, especially in the face of the fact that there was evidence there at the scene. And if it would have been done right, there would have been justice much sooner.
The cases where evidence has been discovered were false negatives, which means that no one was wrongly convicted. A North Carolina man is facing felony charges accused of being married to more than one woman. Jackson Roberts Jr., who you see here, is charged with 2 counts of bigamy. The charges were filed after one of his wives filed a complaint. Roberts is accused of marrying his second wife while still being married to the first. He then exchanged vows with his third wife while being married to his second. Police say they don't believe Jackson Roberts Jr. is a con man or trying to scam any of his wives. Asheville police say although marriage records are public records, they're not easy to find.
There's no place that you can just call and say, is this guy married, and who did he marry, and when did he do it? You have to know the county they married in, the state, all that stuff. So once you figure that stuff out, then you call that area and they'll give you the records.
Asheville police say the district attorney's office is looking into this case. Jackson Roberts Jr. is currently out on bond. The competition is on to see who will be crowned the next Miss America. There are 53 contestants in all. Miss Colorado is 23-year-old Hannah Porter, and she is a graduate of the University of Northern Colorado. She shared her secret on how she got her bikini body.
My secret is living in Colorado, basically, because Colorado is the most physically fit state in the nation, actually, and I think it's just because there's so many outdoor activities for you to do. And yes, I do go to the gym, I have my regular routines and everything, but I mean, when you're skiing, you're burning so many calories, you're doing so much vertical stuff, it's insane.
You can watch Miss America tonight at 7 to see if Miss Colorado takes the crown. That's right here on KRDO News Channel 13. Are you wondering why your paycheck this year is a little less than last year? If so, stay with us. Our tax pro is going to answer that and more of your tax questions. And we've got an adorable fur ball that you could call your very own. Our pet of the week is coming up.